Hello, my name is Marian Yuba, and I'm the Executive Director of Mercy Volunteer Corps. Recently, the Institute leadership team of the Sisters of Mercy of the Americas distributed a video response to the recommitment statement. We at Mercy Volunteer Corps are energized by this recommitment statement. It's in this spirit that MVC staff asked Mercy volunteers currently serving in the United States and South America to give voice to their reflections about the points of this recommitment statement that spoke to them. This video is a compilation of their responses.
Hi, my name is Mo Kelly.
And my name is Esther Spurlock.
And we're talking on behalf of the Cincinnati Mercy Volunteer Corps community.
Whenever I read the recommitment statement, what really struck me was a section about relationships. Because I work in a school here serving mostly underprivileged minority students, it is in my experience that relationships are the core of the MVC experience, and it's very important to include that in the recommitment statement, that we are about relationships.
What I appreciated most was in the critical concerns, how you all specifically addressed valuing the sustainability of all life and working towards the ecosystem. And I think that's something that in Mercy Volunteer Corps we try to focus on by living simply. We try to monitor our energy usage, how often we drive versus walk somewhere. And I really appreciate that Mercy, the Sisters of Mercy in general, are also trying to focus on that.
My name is Caroline McGee, and I'm responding on behalf of the Pittsburgh Mercy Volunteer community. My community members, Allison, Kelsey, and I really appreciate the Sisters of Mercy constantly trying to learn and to reframe their mission according to how the world looks today. For one thing, the Mercy community is not just reanalyzing their values as they appear on paper. Rather, they are trying to understand their values in the context of today's world. They want to see how their community and their values can relate to today's society. Along with that, we value the emphasis on continual education, how the sisters are committed to always learning more about the world and other people and to making informed decisions rooted in mercy. We love that this recommitment expresses an eagerness to hear other people's perspectives and learn from them, which we feel is such a radical and important statement in this time of political polarity. Thank you to the Sisters of Mercy and the leadership team for their recommitment to be a presence of unity and mercy in today's divided world.
Hi, my name is Morgan Stuckey, and I represent the Sacramento MVC community. I work for an organization called Mercy Housing, where we work for those who are previously homeless and those who have mental health issues, and we work getting them housed. One of the things that I really valued this year and why I chose MVC was I wanted to spend a year after graduating, a year before I do med school, to enrich myself and to learn more about the world and how it is. And one of the things that stood out with Mercy was the idea of women's equality and women's lives and advocating for those who can't speak for themselves. And having that background where I went to an all-women's college and then to utilize that with Mercy and to utilize that and see it with how I intentionally try to make myself more aware of women's issues and be more active, like going to the Women's March and representing Mercy, is really special to me. And I really am glad that I decided to choose an organization like this.
Hi, I'm Marissa. I'm a Mercy volunteer in Georgetown, Guyana, and I am stationed at Mercy Wings Vocational Center. And I think of the critical concerns, the practice of nonviolence is really important and means a lot here at my service site. I work with high schoolers, especially a lot of high school boys that have been expelled from other schools for violence or learning disabilities or have had to drop out because of that. And so when I get to work with them and I get the privilege of helping teach them, I teach them maths and English, I get to practice these ways of doing nonviolence and peaceful conversations with them. And I get to start the day in the morning doing meditation or doing kind of more yoga-like breathing practices, things like that, to be able to calm them. I can read them prayers or quotes. Sometimes I read quotes from Catherine McCauley, just different things that can help calm them and help them think about their behavior too. We talk about being able to process their emotions as well as young men. In Guyanese culture, young men are not encouraged to understand their emotions, to work through violent tendencies. They're just told that's how they have to react. So I think being able to focus on these practices of nonviolence is really key to being able to help the people that we get to work, those who are marginalized and grow up in these violent contexts.
Hi, my name is Precious Ndukwe, and I am a part of the Detroit community. I work at Mercy Primary Care Center in Detroit, Michigan, and I am a patient care coordinator. I'm speaking on behalf of the Detroit Mercy Volunteer Corps community. What stands out to us in the recommitment statement is the part of integration in action, as well as working zealously towards sustainable life. We feel as though that it is a pillar of our year as Mercy volunteers. It is a welcome daily challenge in which we've agreed to rise to the occasion. Something we know we cannot solve, but strive to overcome daily. Also, we feel that acting in solidarity with immigrants directly relates to our work and life in Southwest Detroit. The part to continue our commitment to eliminate personal, communal, and institutional racism while working to dismantle oppressive struggles is also a passionate call to action that we MVs have embodied by teaching children of immigrants, providing health care to undocumented citizens and immigrant families. We see this as our response in dismantling that institution. In these trying times of turbulence and seemingly insurmountable injustice and divisiveness, we appreciate an organization so dedicated like the Sisters of Mercy, who seek to push back against the difficulties in our times. So thank you, leadership team, for your call to recommitment, and please keep us informed for the best way that we can aid you. Thank you.
Hi, we're the Mercy Volunteer Corps volunteers serving in Baltimore. I'm Brandy, I'm serving at Stella Maris.
My name's Meg, and I'm serving at Mercy Medical Center.
I'm Julia, and I'm serving at St. Francis of Assisi.
When I was watching the recommitment video from the sisters, the two phrases that stood out to me the most were revolution of tenderness and greater availability to one another. They're both related to the formation of intimate personal relationships. I think it's really easy to ask surface level questions or just ask people in passing how they're doing instead of maybe sitting down and trying to get to know people on a more personal level. One of my favorite theologians is Jean Vanier, and he emphasizes the importance of vulnerability when forming relationships, and when you become vulnerable, eventually you will become kin with people. So I think these kinds of relationships are really important in healing our communities, whether it's our family, the city we're living in, or the world at large.
So the Sisters of Mercy's recommitment statement seems to place a lot of importance on the cries of the suffering world, and I think that this is emphasized in their closing remark that all may be one. So this year with Mercy Volunteer Corps, we've been encouraged to grow in unity with others, and now as the year is quickly progressing, we're looking forward to a future in service of others. So we each have different vocations, and as these plans start to take shape, this recommitment statement is a reminder for us to take Mercy with us into our future.
And to sum it all up, Mercy is very pivotal in a time like this that is kind of plagued by divisions and differences of people. And I think the most important thing that I kind of took from the sisters, kind of similar to Brandy, is about relationship building and using that relationship building to transform our world. You know, the more that we listen to people's stories, the more we encounter people and their experiences, I think the better that we are educated to then become advocates for those that are marginalized.
My name is Nicole, and I am responding on behalf of the Mercy Volunteer community in San Francisco. As Mercy volunteers, community is one of the greatest commitments we can make. And so reading the relationship section was really important to us. We hope to live by example and recommit to engaging deeply with one another, working to live a simpler and more contemplative life. We also believe that in today's day and age, it is important more now than ever to give special attention to the most vulnerable in our society. The recommitment to the critical concerns, especially those battling racism and advocating for women and immigrants, as well as the call to response for the LGBTQ community, is admirable and refreshing. We are so grateful for the Sisters of Mercy as a whole, and we are especially grateful for the Institute leadership team, both for their statement of recommitment and their video response. Thank you for being inspirations to us and to many others.
Hi! We're the Mercy Volunteers in San Francisco, and we would like to send our love and gratitude to all. We love you! Thank you!